Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the next John Wick tale. What if Vincent fought John Wick? Before we get into it, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage, where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. This is the next John Wick tale and one-parter, considering the fact they're all one-parts. What if Vincent fought John Wick? Now, in the original, at John Wick 4's middle, Vincent was supposed to be the one to face off against John Wick, but instead, John Wick faced Kane, even though the two had formed sort of a mutual friendship after multiple fights and seemingly an alliance? It was hard to say, but the two met in combat with dual pistols nonetheless, and John Wick ended up taking the shots himself and taking advantage of Vincent going to finish him, and ended up killing Vincent anyways. And seeing as his fate is undecided going into John Wick 5, this overall meant John Wick's death with a big question mark because of this decision. But what if it was different? What if John Wick and Vincent actually fought instead of John Wick just killing Vincent and taking advantage? What would happen? Would Vincent actually get the job done and, kill John Wick without John Wick taking the shots for him, considering the case? Or would John Wick basically do what he did, take advantage, and just literally one-shot him? That's what we find out today. So, for the third story on this channel, this is just so clear-cut and so late, especially not only into the last movie of the series thus far, but it's just late in terms of it could just be answered so simply. Because let's look at it from this angle. Vincent and John Wick knew that he was messed from the start. Now, let's just say this. Say, for example, John Wick and Vincent have a blades match, right? And they actually fight with knives or blades or swords, what have you. It's guaranteed that Vincent would have still been killed, but it would have probably ended either the same way, with John Wick seemingly dying, or John Wick just utterly taking him out. And from what we saw with him bowing out and putting the gunfight on Kane instead of himself, and then him breaking the rules and getting himself killed, it just kind of lets you know that if Vincent were to fight John Wick would likely freaking massacre him. And that's saying something, considering the fact that it's John frickin' Wick against a guy we really didn't get to see fight. And one could say, oh, he probably would have at least lasted a little bit if he's like, some kind of mastermind or whatever. Yeah, he let his guard down and broke the rules, but come on, give the dude a little bit of credit. Yeah, you can't give a dude credit who was basically shown to be a weakling. And I could have hyped him up and had him kill John Wick, made a little story out of it, but it really kind of isn't worth it. All of it just shows that if Vincent fought John Wick, he would literally, most likely, 100% get freaking decimated. So this might have been a really short little story, but it's worth pointing out that it could have happened, maybe should have happened, and overall just has a very clear-cut, obvious ending. Now, granted, I could have just left this what if alone and just pretended like it never happened, like the Roman Bridger getting accepted by Marine Prescott, but questions like this still deserve answer. And, okay, let's just say this. What ifs, like, for example, like, hey, what if Lightning McQueen was in Dragon Ball Z? It just goes to show some questions can be so clear-cutly answered. Others are clear-cutly answered, but they just need a teeny, tiny little bit of emphasis on the tale. You know, to actually, like, fold it into making sense and answering the question for the people. So, this was one of those that could have just been left alone to a simple answer in my comment section, but it needed a bit of emphasis like the Marine Prescott one to really bring it into fruition for a tale. Overall, hope you guys like this little John Wick story, tale / thing. Next story is Cruz actually continuing racing, and it'll be quite the ride, if you catch my drift. And I will see you guys in that tale.
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!